What happens when an NFL franchise has to declare for bankruptcy only 2 months before the season begins, which forced the franchise to relocate across season, having all current players opt out of their contracts and having even below average NFL players reject contracts? Your only option is to go out and sign a bunch of players that no other NFL team want anything to do with. Welcome to the Rejects Madden 19 franchise series. Last week was an absolute heartbreaker as we got our first loss in the 2020 season. But it's time for Mark Herzlich and the squad to come back in week 4 and get back on winning ways as we travel away from home for the first time in this season. This time to Nashville, our first time stepping foot in U.S. soil in this season. We are going to be taking on the Tennessee Titans as we look to show off our short-term memories and forget about last week and immediately come back and grab a dub today in Nashville. We are 2-1 on the year going into week 4. Last week was an absolute disappointment. So many chances to win, but unfortunately, the luck of the Irish wasn't on our side late in that ball game. The Titans, on the other hand, have sort of been struggling. Got a slim win last week in Denver to get on the board in terms of wins. First 2 weeks were blown out pretty bad by the Vikings and Ravens. Need to address something really quick though. Had a lot of Shamrock faithful in the comments of the last video asking where all the polls were for the player of the episode. And we decided moving forward, we're only going to vote on players of the episode if we do in fact win the game, as that will make it a little bit harder, not impossible, but a little bit harder for players to get upgrades throughout the series. And it makes sense. You don't want to be rewarding players for losses. And as you guys know, last episode we did complete a pretty controversial trade for now running back Jalen Hurts, who now is the starter. Dublin Nation was pretty split on the move. A lot of the fans loved it, while on the other side a lot of fans absolutely despised it. But no matter the side of the fence that you're on, we need to get behind this running back and get behind this team. They're trying to move forward to the first winning season in team history, and that lies a lot on the running game. So hopefully Jalen Hurts, no matter if you love him or hate him, can be productive for your Shamrocks. But before we do get into today's matchup, there is a bit of controversy spewing around here in Dublin surrounding one individual player, which is crazy because I've never seen anything like this before. And we've never had a player not enjoy being a Dublin Shamrock. But if we go over to the league tab, go down to news, things aren't looking good for Rico Gathers in his stay here in Dublin, as it looks like the newly acquired tight end from this past offseason has actually gone out and demanded the trade. It says one of the newest members of the Dublin Shamrocks, Rico Gathers, has demanded the trade following his poor performances to start the season. And along with that, sources say he has not adjusted well to living in another country and wants to return home to the United States. Even Peter Schrager is getting in on the action and is saying a trade before this weekend's game before the Titans is very likely. I mean, we don't want to have players who don't want to be a part of the Shamrocks actually be a part of this organization, because we all know, as we do highlight every single episode, we don't have the talent, but we have the heart. And with that heart has to be team chemistry. And if we want a guy that obviously doesn't want to be here, that's going to affect that team chemistry. So even if we have to downgrade at this position, it's going to be more productive in the long term if we can't actually trade this guy away and replace him. And to be completely honest, this doesn't bother me one bit, because number one, he's been absolutely awful these first few weeks. Easily been the worst player on both sides of the ball in this whole entire team. And my honest to God, been one of the worst performers in team history. So if we can trade him away and get some sort of draft pick, that would not bother me at all. And yeah, I know he is a 71 overall, and some of you might say he's only a 71 overall, so it might not be that big of a deal. But at the same time, you gotta keep in mind, he's still one of the highest overall players on the team. Talent-wise, one of the biggest superstars on the team. I mean, his overall is 4 overall higher than our actual team overall. So I mean, talent-wise, it will hurt us a little bit, but at the same time, I mean, you can be talented and just not perform due to your circumstances. So I guess this is like a mutual agreement to get rid of him today. And when we took on the Colts last episode, there was a particular player that caught the eye of the Dublin Shamrock faithful and caught the eye of the scouts that we had at our game, checking out the opponent's roster, seeing if there's any players that don't get a lot of playing time in their respective club, but at the same time seeing if they could be somewhat of a fit here in Dublin. And that man was Throckmorton, the man that played tight end last episode for the Colts. The Shamrock fans want him here in Dublin. There's a problem. Everybody does want us to go out and acquire this man in a deal to be our new tight end. And all the stars do seem to be aligning, because we are going to be trading away, or attempting to trade away, Rico Gathers today. And with this man playing tight end, it seems as if it would be a perfect plug and fill fit. But there's one problem. When we go to the Colts organization and go to tight ends, this man Throckmorton is not actually a tight end. Throckmorton is actually listed as their backup left tackle. And for some reason, he was playing tight end with the Colts. And since he did play tight end for the Colts, that means he should be able to play tight end for us here in Dublin. But this is a big boy. Would be a big boy tight end at 6'5", 318 pounds. Doesn't necessarily in terms of build look like the prototypical tight end, but you don't necessarily have to fit the prototypical standards to be a potential playmaker for us in Dublin, to be a player to make a difference. Because at the end of the day, big boy means big heart, and we'll take it. The only problem is he's just not fast. 68 speed. And obviously will be a menace for us on the line blocking at the tight end position, but not really sure how productive he'd be for us through the air. But the fans want it. The scouts do believe he'd be a good player for us, so we will try to get him today. Now I would say we could just potentially swap Rico Gathers for Throckmorton. It's all about getting the best value deal possible. We'll see if there's any NFL team out there that actually wants Rico Gathers as their tight end, if they're interested in him. And if they are, maybe get some draft picks back that we had to waste last episode to get Jalen Hurts, because that was a crazy deal. But first team already, Oakland Raiders. So how many teams? There's actually a decent amount of teams that do want Rico Gathers. Looks like the Packers might be the best fit because they are listed as the NFL team that most needs a tight end. I would just take a third and a couple fifths. Like that would 100% be worth it. Submit this through. Wow. I'm not complaining about a third and 2 fifths for a 71 overall tight end that does not want to be a part of our team, but at the same time, probably could have got a better value for my money. Now it's time to try and bring in the Throck Monster. Haha, that's his new nickname, the Throck Monster. Let's try one of those fists that we just got from the Colts. Not good. Not good at all. Judging at that, we might actually have to use his third round draft pick, which might seem astronomical for a couple of people out there. But I mean, he is a young player. He still could develop to be a beast for us in Dublin if we do make this deal happen. And technically, if we did have to use a third round draft pick, it would be like trading Rico Gathers away for 2 fifths instead of a third, which I would still think would be great value for a 71 tight end. So this would just be like a free third round draft pick to acquire Throckmorton. I'm not even sure if this will be accepted. Submit this through. This is not good at all. So we have no players that the Colts are interested in. So it looks like it's time for me to try some willing and dealing to bring in the man Throckmorton. Like I said, some willing and dealing. Now potentially this deal is technically gonna probably end up being just like a very complicated direct swap for Rico Gathers for Throckmorton. A little bit more complicated than that. We traded for Jared Davis, a middle linebacker, and you probably don't understand why, but you'll see in a second. And if they now would take Jared Davis off our hands now, I would be A-okay with that. The Colts, they do want him. I mean, I know this seems a little bit ridiculous, but at the same time, if we make this deal happen, technically what this would turn out to be is a straight-up trade. Rico Gathers for Throckmorton, with us trading up from a 6th to a 5th. So a very complicated trade-up. Anyways, submit this through. Was accepted straight up. Why now do they value Throckmorton at 1 star? I don't know why they randomly decided to, now value him at a 1 star opposed to a 4 star previously, but it is what it is. Now Jared Davis is a Colt, but in return, we get the main man. So that was very complicated to bring in one trade, but that's what it takes to make deals happen here in Dublin because our talent pool is not ideal on an NFL scale. One of the things you probably didn't notice that's really important about this Throckmorton deal is the fact that he's an offensive lineman, so obviously he can play O-line. And we only have currently 1 backup offensive lineman because everybody else is freaking hurt. So he's an emergency offensive lineman if we need him to. But as of now, he is going to be our starting tight end. And I hope he's not an awful overall. Throckmorton, a 72 overall. What a man. He's actually a high overall at tight end that he is left tackle. So we got ourselves an absolute gem. And now Wes Saxon is going to be the number 3 tight end. But he's here. Your friend, Calvin Throckmorton. The big boy with a big heart. That was a lot of work to technically straight up swap Rico Gathers for Throck Monster while kind of trading a 6th for a 5th. So that was a lot of stuff. But with all that nonsense out of the way, you have yourself a new Dublin Shamrock and you have a cancerous player sent out of the door on the flip side. Now it's time for your Dublin Shamrocks to invade U.S. soil and to invade Nissan Stadium for the first time in the 2020 season. Once again, we all know huge talent gap, but our heart just got bigger with Throck Monster. Oh boys, here we go. For the first time on U.S. soil in this season, your Dublin Shamrocks are here to play. Gotta see if we can have a huge rebound after last week. After the first loss of the season, I'm always here every single episode preaching about the heart we have. But the heart we have is going to take a huge test today, and the biggest test of the season up to this point. We have to see if we can bounce back from last week's loss and get back to our newly acquired taste of winning ways here for your Shamrocks. Marcus Mariota, this Titan team, Nissan Stadium, no match. Looking to get the big man involved on play number 1, Throckmorton on a little drag. Just testing out his talents. I'm going to delay of game. Throckmorton, quick pass. He makes the catch. This man is going to be a Hall of Famer, and you've got to be kidding me. You've got to be kidding me. There's no way. There's no goddamn way. No, I don't believe it. I don't believe it. Oh, this isn't even poetry. This is just a horror movie. A horror movie unfolding here in Nissan Stadium. Throckmorton, after all freaking that, after one goddamn play, he's already injured. That's not good. He went off holding his wrist. That's just awful. Well, not the ideal start. You know, your new acquired tight end getting injured in the first play. It's time to play the rest of this game for Throckmonster. 2nd down and 6. Stretch from Jalen Hurts. Oh man, could have used his blocks instead of Tim Tebow's. Broken collarbone. God dang it. Yeah, that's at least like a 5-6 week injury. Oh, you've gotta be kidding me, dude. Well, the Throckmonster story will have to wait like 5 or 6 weeks to unfold a new chapter. As now Tim Tebow, a 52 overall, is our new starting tight end. Oh, this game could not have started off any worse. We need a dime. That's a dime. That's a dime. Dalton with the catch. Tua is inaccurate at times, a lot of times in this series, but he's more accurate running backwards on the run than he is flat-footed. Jalen on the handoff, 1st and 10, bouncing it outside. Jalen gonna get a nice little 5-yard carry. Oh God, Alex Boone, our backup left guard, is playing right tackle. Eric Flowers is playing left guard. Our offensive line injured and soulless right now. Jalen Hurts again. Another hole. Can he run over this DB? He can't. But it is going to be a 3rd down and short. There's only one man for the job on 3rd and short situations, and that's Trent Richardson. They're bringing everybody in the box. They're still going to run it right down their throat. Trent, 1st down. Easy money. In checks our team captain Dalton for the first time this game. Josh Gordon's getting pressed. Let's see, though. Little quick pass. That's Justin Blackman with the catch. Down to the 15. Ever since the injury, it has been a pretty nice, consistent drive for us to start this game off. Don't normally get points in the first drive of the game, so I'll take anything here. I do want the touchdown, though. Jalen is going to get only a couple. Keeping things simple here. This time, in checks Drew Archer and Denard Robinson in the same backfield. And try to get Drew Archer's speed to the outside. He has a little hole. Drew Archer, can he get past this man? He can't. Touchdowns is what we want. And touchdowns is what we're going to get. Hopefully. 3rd and 6. Gotta pick this up, man. Got to. Corey Coleman on the quick slant. He's gonna catch it. Down to the 2. Not technically on the 1-yard line. So we're gonna give this ball off to Jalen. See if he can get his first NFL touchdown. On the ground, that is. Jalen. Oh. Too many Titans. 2nd down and goal. Tua needs smart, quick decisions here. Tim Tebow makes the catch. Oh, now he's back to the 2. Even though we're not on the 1, we're on the 2. It's Laquan McCowan time. We need 2 yards, big man. Laquan didn't quite get it. Down to the 1 now. We've chewed the whole entire first quarter completely off the clock. We're 1 yard away. We are not a team that kicks field goals on the 1-yard line. Screw a field goal. We have Laquan McCowan. If an NFL team can stop Laquan McCowan from the 2-yard line 2 consecutive plays, they deserve the stop. That takes a lot. Laquan McCowan up the middle. He got stopped. He actually got stopped. One man stopped the big boy. Oh, what a just absolute anticlimactic start here in Nissan Stadium. You know what that means, though? We now can get a safety. Austin Eckler in the backfield. Got to stop him. In the end zone. Get 2 points. It's going to be a run. Actually, a play action pass. Can we get the... Come on! Marcus is doing crazy things! Dang it. The safety doesn't set up any better than this. Come on, run the ball. Run the ball, you Titans. They do. Is that a safety? Oh, he barely got out of the end zone. Latavius Murray. Come on, boys, step up. Need that penetration here. Need that 2 points. Need those safety. There it is. There it is. Let's go. Your Dublin Shamrocks force the safety. That's Randy Gregory with the stop in the backfield. With the stop in the end zone. As that whole entire first drive, the stop on the 1 yard line, that was strictly strategic to give us 2 points and to give us the ball right back. Try to make this now a 2-possession game. Your Dublin Shamrocks just always find ways to go on top. It's always unique and always seems more complicated than it should be initially, but 2 points is 2 points and a lead is a lead. Dre Archer, wide open. He's gonna make this. Dre Archer has the worst hands out of any NFL player I've ever seen in my entire existence. But he is fast, so if he can't catch the ball, at least simply put the ball in his hands. To the outside. Can he actually pick up a couple? Gets about 7. Bold strategy here. Going 5 wide. Empty set. Quick pass. Quick passes. Drag. Wide open. There's Corey Coleman. First down to midfield. Thank God our makeshift offensive line held up there. Unfortunately, our first third down and long of the ball game. 3rd and 10. What can Tua cook up here? Hopefully somebody can find their way open. Oh man. He got open eventually. That's going to be a catch. None other than Josh Gordon. And that play, 100% made by the offensive line. Don't know what's got into him. They gave Tua enough time in the pocket to write a whole entire book of children's poems. And he found Josh Gordon eventually wide open. The slant is open. That's none other, once again, Josh Gordon to the 3-yard line. Since they're stopping us in between the tackles on the goal line, let's try to run outside the tackles. Jalen Hurts with the hole didn't have the burst of speed to get through it quickly before it closed up. Already the 2-minute warning in the second quarter, and it's a goddamn 2-0 ball game. See if Josh Gordon can beat this corner off the press coverage. Oh man, they're covered perfectly. Tebow, he's gonna, nice play there from the defender, Harold Landry. As screw it, we need the end zone, not 3 points. Quick passes here needed. Josh Gordon, catch is made. Josh Gordon, he's a man on a mission for your Dublin Shamrocks. His first touchdown of the game, not his first touchdown of the season. Seems like it's like his 810th touchdown on the air through the season. Josh Gordon, what a man. As with that, boys, there's 2 minutes left to go in the second quarter. And the Tennessee Titans have yet to get a yard of offense. This has been a game where we've controlled the football like none other before. So we already have the Titans to a 3rd down and 8 here. Let's see if we can get another stop. Maybe have a chance to get more points before halftime. We're going to get a sack. Who is that? Patrick Sampe. This is his first career NFL sack. The converted outside linebacker to DN. Our 2nd round draft pick coming up huge early on. And with that, I'm 95% sure if my math is correct, the Titans still have negative yards in the first half of this ball game. What a beautiful performance thus far from both sides of the ball. As it's Tua time. Time to let Tua loose here. 35 seconds to go before the half is over. We have all 3 timeouts. Gotta get points. Got to. Slants are open. Oh, that was close. But Justin Blackman makes the catch. Jarrell Casey almost made an interception, but thank God he's a D tackle and not a DB or linebacker. Josh Gordon on this comeback route. Should be open, and he is. Josh Gordon, what a man, what a catch, another first. Gotta be careful though, only 1 timeout remaining, but guys, look what defense the Titans are lining up in. Press coverage on the outside. One of these receivers gonna get open. It's just gonna happen. And that one's gonna be Josh Gordon. We need a dime. We get the dime! Josh Gordon! And your Dublin Shamrocks, Tua to Gordon for the 2nd time in this game for a touchdown. As your Shamrocks running riot here in Tennessee. Nashville hosting the Shamrocks for the first time on U.S. soil this season. Looks like your Shamrocks want to play in the United States more often. So that's going to do it for the first half. And what a first half here in Nashville. 16-0. Your Shamrocks lead at the half. And the Titans have a combined -4 yards. As your Shamrocks have 232 combined yards as what a half. If we could somehow, some way, it's more than likely not going to happen. It's not necessarily a priority. But if we could somehow come out of this game without allowing the Titans an offensive yard, a positive offensive yard at that, that would be miracles. The dream is over. The dream is over, boys. Titans got 8 yards on the play. They're now in the positives. Now positive 5 yards on the game. Oh, not good. Not good. Mariota's taking off. Oh, God. Wide open Titans. Too many open Titans. They can make the catch at the 24-yard line. That's Amon Richards, a young receiver for the Titans, with the first down. Come on, men. Gotta play better. Gotta play for the Throck Monster. Come on. Not good. Eckler. That's gonna be a touchdown, isn't it? Wow. The Titans, who didn't get an offensive yard in the whole first half, strike quickly here in the second half. It's gonna be 16-7. Still a 2-possession. Just kidding. Just kidding. Titans are going for 2. If they make this 2-point conversion, it's gonna be a 1-possession game. Come on, Dublin Shamrocks. Do this one for the Throckmorton, man. Come on. Pay your respects. Nobody's open. Mariota going nowhere. He's demolished. Jakeem Griffin gets the stop. 16-6. Surprise Mariota hasn't got injured yet with the many times he's been hit so far. Need a dime, Tua. Need a dime. It's Tim Tebow coming up big. Tebow stepping in for the, as you guys know at this point, the injured Throckmorton. But Tua, what a game thus far. Been the best game of his early NFL career up to this point. Not good. Not good at all. 3rd down and 9. Gotta pick this up. I mean, if we don't pick it up, not at the end of the world. Still a 2-possession game. But rather not give the Titans a chance to get back in this ball game. They're pressing our receivers. See if Justin Blackman can beat him deep. Can't. Oh, we're gonna get sacked, aren't we? No, we're not. Evade pressure. Need a dime. What a pass. What a play. Tua. That, once again, shows why we drafted this guy in the first round and why we were so hyped. I thought that was about to be a sack. Has that sneaky speed, evaded the sack, and on the run, kind of running backwards, drops a dime to Tebow in stride for the first down. Tebow, pretty productive to say the least. Our offensive line might be good in pass protection this game. In terms of blocking for the run, have been atrocious. Absolutely atrocious. We have a receiver open. There's where Tua can hurt us. He makes the crazy throws. He makes the impossible throws. But the open throws, sometimes he misses. They're actually going to attempt a 55-yard field goal for Roberto Aguayo. Man, it's a 10-mile-per-hour wind. We're going to try it, though. We're going to try Roberto. This would make up for the missed field goal to win last episode. It's got to be perfect. Got to be absolutely perfect. Roberto. It is a little bit short. So here we have it. The start of the 4th quarter. A 3rd down and 2 for the Tennessee Titans. If we get this stop and can get the ball back, it might be just enough time for us to go ahead and start chewing this clock out. And, a quick little pass there from Mariota to Smith for the first. An open receiver. That's Richards again, the young receiver. First down, man. Play action pass. Mariota's going nowhere, and he fumbles! Randy Gregory with the fumble recovery. If they don't go back and review this and overturn it and see he was down, that might be our first fumble recovery of the season on a quarterback. That's a big sack there from big boy Hayes Puller. Forces the ball loose. Randy Gregory recovers, as that might just be what your Shamrocks need to secure the dub win today, as the Titans were 20 yards away from being right back in the game. Big 3rd down and 9. If we can convert this, be able to chew even more clock off. Big pass, though. And nobody's open. That's not even remotely close where I wanted that ball to go. And, about 17 defenders and receivers combined had the chance to catch it. A deep pass, and already Titans down the field. 50-yard line. They're still not out of this. Plenty of time. Delaney Walker has to be at least in his 40s at this point. Still productive for the Titans. I missed a big hit. Corey Davis on the catch. Titans now down at the 25. Big play here. 3rd down and 5. They might actually kick this field goal. They don't pick it up. They ran the ball. Another fumble. Oh, God. Oh, God. They recovered. Scary. They actually are going to kick the field goal, which I guess is the smart move, as they, with the made field goal, will make this a 1-possession ball game again. 3rd down and 1. Pick this up. Should seal the deal. If not, the Titans will have a chance to go down the field and tie it with about a minute left to go. They wouldn't have any timeouts remaining. You guys know what we're doing here. 3rd down and 1. Laquan McCowan time. Easy money for the big man with a big heart. The big man with big dreams might have very well just solidified your Dublin Shamrocks' 3rd win of the season. The losing streak does not extend 2 weeks. Right back on our winning ways. As that does do it, your Dublin Shamrocks officially improved to 3-1 on the year with a 16-9 win over the Tennessee Titans. It definitely not at all was pretty, But wins are wins. We did what we had to do. We won the possession battle, and that ultimately was the deciding factor. We had the ball for like 90% of this ball game. Our defense played big when they had to. Our offense pretty lackluster in the second half. But a win is a win. We have more points than the opposition, and that does give us the dub win. As we do improve to 3-1 in the year, the Titans fall to 1-3. Oh, we did this one for Throckmorton, and we're going to play the rest of this season until he does come back with that big boy on our hearts and on our soul, as hopefully with him not actually on the field while injured, he can still play a pivotal role on the success of this team. Looking at the final stats, Tua with the best and most consistent game of his young NFL career, 14-21, 248 yards and touchdowns, no interception. Mariota, to be fair, was very consistent as well, only through one incompletion. We had literally no success running the football, but once again split the carries between everybody. I mean, we had Jalen Hurts lead us with 1.1 yards per carry with 13 yards. Receiving wise, of course, Josh Gordon with a big game, 2 touchdowns. And of course, Tim Tebow stepped in huge today. Not huge yards, but made big plays when we had to. Converted a lot of third downs for us. We had Sua Cravens lead us with total tackles with 5. We had 2 sacks, Hayes Pullard and Parker Sampy. And Hayes Pullard forced both fumbles in today's game. As your Shamrocks, once again winners, 16-9 with the Tennessee Titans. As we actually have 4 players with available upgrades. This is an interesting and unusual sight here for your Shamrocks. Tua, his first upgrade of his NFL career. Go ahead and give him +1 to his Scrambler archetype. Boost him up to an 85 overall. Gets a couple decent attribute boosts. Next, we have Roberto Aguayo. He's going to get a +1 to his power archetype, up to a 74 overall. He's improving slowly but surely. Next, D. Virgin, our defensive team captain, is going to get a +1 up to a 72 overall. And last but not least, your final upgrade today, D-Liner. Not sure where this came from. He doesn't even hardly play for us. I guess he'll get a +1 up to a 61. But the moment of truth, one new injury, that's going to be Throckmorton out for 7 weeks. So we get a fan favorite in Throckmorton. He's in the game for 1 play. At least he made a reception. But with that, we'll be out until I believe week 12. Keep in mind, dude, this team is pretty bruised up at this point. 2 offensive linemen are out. 2 starters at that on the offensive line. The offensive line's actually, to be fair, playing better without them, but not a lot of depth there now. Daddy Nicholas is still injured for another 2 weeks. He's been replaced by Frank Zombo, who is a veteran but is getting up there in age and has diminished a little bit in his qualities as a football player. And of course, Throckmorton. I mean, technically, to be honest, it's 3 offensive linemen that are now injured, although he is technically a starting tight end. But wow, that's unfortunate. But to be fair, and good things for us, we do have a bye week next week, so that's going to help us in terms of some of these players coming back a little bit quicker. We'll go ahead and advance into week 6 as we stay on U.S. soil against the Detroit Lions, who are 0-5 on the year. So we have a great chance to improve to 4 on the year. If not, if we lose against a winless team, I'll be, and I'm sure Mark Herzig will be, extremely disappointed. Mike Taylor and Daddy Nicholas do come back, so hopefully we'll feel that and we'll see that improvement on our team. But with that, guys, that will do it for today's episode of The Rejects. Hopefully you did enjoy. Do make sure to smash that like button. Let's see if we can smash 5,000 likes. Subscribe if you are new. Turn on the notification bell if you haven't. Catch you guys next time. Have a great rest of your day. God bless and peace.